Hello everyone, this is Josh X Play Place, and today we continue expanding our city of New Austin in this episode 12. We're gonna try not to focus on traffic at this moment. We spent too much time in the last episode and the previous one, so we're gonna be focusing on growing our low density residential area. Let's begin. As we had previously discussed, I think I'm gonna try to keep this a very low density city. I'm gonna try to keep on adding more low density residential so that in the very near future all of this area can become high density, as long of course as with other areas outside the city. But I want to put a lot of space for low density residential. As we can see here, we can do something like this. That's a little bit more, we put a little bit more effort into it, trying to make curved roads. We try to make things a little bit better, a little bit different. And I think that works really well for a city. However, I also think that even in the suburbs, there's sometimes that older neighborhoods are still grids, maybe with more rectangular shaped blocks, but they still are a grid. And again, I'm not gonna worry about this anymore. I think for right now it's working really well. We can speed it up just a little bit more. I think that the fact that we created this longer exit is helping, and as well as this roundabout. Again, it's gonna have to change. It's gonna have to change once we delete this, because as you can see, there's already traffic here. It's just not a good fit for this city or any city. I really don't think this is a good intersection. But again, this is not for right now. It's working well, and we're gonna leave it like that again for right now. Our mission in this episode is to continue growing our demand for residential zones, as well as lowering this demand for offices and industry. So let's see what else we can place in here to make these people a little happier. And I think first I'm gonna do a little plaza that I'm gonna plop in here, and we also plop 2 parking lots, and hopefully this will mean that they are feeling a little bit better. Maybe we can also add a little faculty. Maybe that might help, but let's just wait really quick. Let's see what the issue with this is. And so we need water. Let's continue placing a couple more, maybe just one more water tower here. Yeah, that should be fine. So we should be fine with water here. Again, we're not gonna look at this, not today, not right now, because we might go crazy if we start taking a look at this. The only thing that I'm gonna say is that this wider space that we left at the beginning is going to be very helpful when creating off and on ramps here at the beginning. So that's going to be a really good thing that we are going to do. So let's zone this as industry, and let me see where else we can try to put some more industry so that we can figure out where else to put some more. Let's see, we can put just, let's extend this district just a little bit more. I just want this to be regular office. I don't want it to be the financial ones that we have here, but I do want to extend this downtown modern city center or downtown. buildings so they can pop up really nicely here. I think that putting this unique building, the Majesty building, it's also helping a lot with the look of this. However, sometimes these intersections tend to become very busy, and if that happens, we might have to create a big roundabout. Again, in the new SimCity, SimCity 2, there's going to be easier ways to create roundabouts, but in here you do have to make them manually. And so I think that's going to be something to look for. There's a little bit of traffic here. I am not going to worry yet, but in the very near future, we will have to upgrade all this into the avenue with the bicycle roads. There's still a lot of demand for industry, and I'm trying to figure out where to expand that's not going to be problematic. And I think that the best place that we can expand for offices is here, just regular offices. We're not going to zone it, we're not going to put anything else for that. And however, I do want to make sure that we don't change this, that we don't zone anything after this, because since this is going to be a very interesting intersection that we're going to have to fix, I do want to keep this frontage road, the distance from the expressway to the frontage road, to the access ramp. And I think that should be able to help us make this work a little bit better. So we're gonna do that. So let's expand this, and I think this is gonna be perfect. And let me lay down some roads here so we can continue. I think this ended up looking really nice. I mean, it's just a regular grid, but we do need to zone a lot for office and also for commercial. So I am gonna pause this just really quick so we can make a new district that's just gonna be this area by itself. I'm not gonna do anything special other than again, I just wanted this to be under the style for modern city center. So there's water, there's electricity. Let me unpause it real quick. I think we can put a really nice plaza here. We might be able to put the Paradox Plaza. And yeah, I think it's gonna look really nice in here. We can do a walkway here, one here, and we can put two of the little or the medium-sized parking lots. And I think that's gonna look really nice. We do have the other square that we're gonna buy. I do feel that we should purchase maybe this one or this one, but let's try to continue working on this. Lake Park. Let me zone it and let me run the game. I think this is developing rather nicely. And I think the next thing we need to do, and well, let's wait really quick. We're having issues with electricity. We're just gonna plop down a new solar power plant, and that should be able to solve our problems right away. Yeah, it should. As always, this is gonna become a messy situation, so we're gonna try to see how we can fix that later on. But again, people are just trying to get into this area, so that's what's going on. Let's check with water and electricity. It should be fine. Same thing with garbage. Maybe we can add another incinerator, and that should be able to help us deal with a little bit more. Yeah, it does. And again, we are doing the random vehicle for all of them. That way our city has different vehicles going around for trash collection. And so this is growing really nicely. I think the only other thing that I'm gonna finish is I'm just gonna keep this in here like this and like this, and we can add a little bit more here and here. The other thing that I do think would be a good idea to place down here would be to have a line that goes, a bus line that goes like this, but in the near future, because we still have access through these ones. But I think that very soon we're gonna have to delete these two lines and just add one here, and a smaller one going through here. We also need to start thinking where we are gonna put our bus station. So that's something else that we need to start looking and considering. So that's something to look for. And yes, this is getting busy. It's fine. It should be fine. We should be fine. Later on, we might do a smaller version of this here. But again, it's fine for right now. We shouldn't stress about having this, because we will be able to fix it later on. We are nowhere close to Colossal City, so we only have one tile to buy. And so we really, of course, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 options that we can purchase. At this moment, I don't think this is a good option for us. We're just gonna struggle trying to get to this area. This area, I'm thinking that it might become, as you can see, the oil zone district. And so maybe yes, maybe no. So that would be the only one. If not, we can continue, which we should, our newest neighborhood here. So I think this is a big option. This is not an option right now, because we really don't want to expand this way yet. We will once we're able to unlock these other tiles and we can make the new highway here. Yeah, again, this is not gonna work for us at the moment. This could be an option. This is not an option yet because it doesn't have access to the expressway, but I do think this will be a good option for us, and that's what I am gonna purchase. I think this is gonna be a good option for us. It's gonna work really well. This is the furthest tile that this row is gonna expand into, so we should consider that we might have an entrance to the expressway here. So that's something that we need to keep an eye for, not to overdo it with what we're building on this other side. So we do need to start thinking and seeing where we are gonna put this really nice clover leaf intersection, and I think it's gonna be here. But that's not for right now. We have a little bit of demand for commercial, and I'm trying to figure out what district we have here for that. We have one little district, and maybe we can add another one here. I think it's gonna be a good area, but again, not right now. We're not. I don't wanna zone anything in this area because I know that we might have to deal with the expansion of this expressway. Again, we're fine in traffic here. It's up and down again depending on the traffic, but we're fine. So we don't have to worry about this right now. We do need to, again, zone a little bit more for commercial. And I think we might want to just finish zoning this. We're going to extend this Miller Street to make sure that it has access into the river, and maybe we can use that to plop something smaller like this. Let's make sure that there's water. There is water. And so let's make sure that it's part of the zone. It is part of the zone. I'm just gonna zone it here, and I am gonna put a little park here, as well as maybe the, let's see what we have here. We have the fishing tours and we have the jet ski rental. So we have the fishing tours, the jet ski rental. Let's do the marina here. And I think that's gonna work really, really well for this. In this area, we're already experiencing the issue with depletion. As far as we know, or as far as we've heard, with Cities Skylines 2, this is gonna be less of an issue. I think they're gonna be able to deal with this a little bit better. Again, it's just the fact that things deplete so fast and that there's really no way to control it other than just, for example, what I'm going to do here, just have one of these buildings here. And again, I think that the way that things worked with SimCity 2013 and how fast at least the oil depleted, which I loved the way that they did it there, I think it worked a little bit better, and I hope they're able to do something similar in here. We're also noticing that there's a little bit of a surplus of products, and maybe we can build another plant for milk, and that way we can make use of that a little bit better. Yeah, we can do, maybe we can do two of them. We can do one, and we can do two, and hopefully all this product can go into here really fast. Again, logistics is a little bit messy here too. I mean, you can enact these policies, which I think I forgot to do, but even then things don't work as well as they should, and I think that's one of the mods that a lot of people downloaded to make sure that all the product that is available here goes into what's needed inside the actual city. Because as you can see, we are still importing a little bit, as you can see here. So, and there's no reason why, if we have a surplus of raw materials, in this case crops, we are still importing a chunk, a good chunk of it. So it makes no sense. Agriculture is our main export, which of course it's not surprising. And I think in one of our next episodes, I will want to expand all of this. It's gonna create a lot of surplus crops from materials. So we do need to create and plop more of these buildings that are gonna deal with having all that. In here we're having issues with electricity, and again it's just crazy how two buildings can be so close yet they won't have electricity. And I am gonna plop down a fire department and a little police department, police station, so everything should be taken care of. Let's do our statistics check. We have electricity, we have enough electricity production. Same thing with water and sewage, we should be fine. Same thing with garbage. In terms of education, we have almost everything covered with elementary, high school, and uh, just a little bit of university. That's what we need, and that's something that we should be thinking about very soon. In terms of healthcare, I think everything is going well. The only other thing that I can think of is to create another, or to plop down um, another medical clinic here. That way it covers these people and they can be a little bit happier. And maybe let me do that right now. We might even want to change this into an actual hospital, but there's a hospital already here, so I don't know how effective that would be. And you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna move this here, and I'm actually gonna close this into a little block, and hopefully that can fix the issue, which we don't have, but it should be fine. And I am gonna start zoning a little bit more here, so give me just a moment. And apparently there is still more demand for industrial, so that's something that we do need to look at it. And I think what we're gonna do is just keep on expanding this area a little bit more. We're gonna take the road and expand it here. I am also gonna keep on adding to the zone that's already here. That way we can use the agricultural resource that we have there. So let me plop this one here. Let me delete these lines and continue zoning for industrial, and let's see how fast this grows. So that's looking really nice. I think it's grown really nice. Once again, after we fix all of this mess, we will be upgrading all these to high density, and all this also to high density. This is gonna be our quote-unquote downtown area, if you wish. There's also some really cool, unique buildings that we can plop. For example, these city offices and whatnot. So I think it's gonna be a very interesting update that all of these is gonna change. It's gonna be very interesting. That I'm really hoping that we can get there pretty soon, especially because I think we're doing a great job growing this city of New Austin, which is by the river, and it has a little lake like area, which again a little bit similar to Austin. Of course, we're taking some liberties there, but I think it's working really well. Something that we need to add a little bit more is commercial zone, and I'm trying to figure out where we can do that. And I think we can do something like that here, and we're gonna do high density and let this grow a little bit more. Once again, as a reminder, things will always change in cities. Construction in roads will always be there. So if you think that you lay down a road and that's going to be the end of it, for a lot of the times it's correct. Like for example, all these roads that more than likely are never going to change. Maybe if you want to upgrade them, that's a whole different thing, but not for this. And so I just want to make sure that you all don't feel weird if you have to demolish stuff. That's gonna be a thing that's gonna happen. So don't feel weird about it. That's still a thing that is gonna happen. So everything should be fine. There's a lot of traffic here. That's okay. I mean, that's something that's supposed to happen. So there's really nothing we can do in this case other than maybe add something or upgrade this into a very large roundabout. But that's something that, again, roundabouts are not a big deal in Texas, so I'm trying to keep it a little bit more into how I see highways in Texas. So that's something that they're just gonna have to deal with once we upgrade this, because we will have access a little bit sooner the into the highway, especially because maybe you've tried it, maybe you haven't, and if you don't, it's fine. You can always make this higher, and that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna put it higher. That way the highway goes as high as what we have in here already, and so we don't have to worry about how we're gonna lower or make this higher or get to this area. And so that's what we're gonna do. As a little bit of a spoiler, we will be doing this on the other side, on this side too. This will more than likely disappear, this roundabout, and we will only have one more exit here, which might be for this road or for this road. I don't know yet. That depends on how things work on this side. We're also gonna have to be very careful with this train track. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but it's very doable. And I think the last thing that I want to add here, I don't know if it's gonna fit, but I wanted to add a parking garage. Yeah, this is perfect, and we're gonna leave it gray for right now. This will be, even though it has resources for farming, I don't want to do that. I think this is gonna be our first walking area, our first pedestrian area. Let me try to do that in here. I think it's gonna be an interesting development for this area. I think it's gonna help us with what we need. Let's just make sure that we don't overlap with this and this. Again, you don't need to do things like I do. It all depends on how you want your city to look and what you do in your city to be. So this is the first thing that we're gonna do, and well, the last thing that we're actually gonna do in this video. So let me draw some more streets, and this is gonna be just a regular grid. We're not gonna worry about anything else, just to make it a grid, and we'll be back. So what I did here was only to add to this side, and it is mostly gonna be office buildings. I think that we might wanna continue this road all the way here. I think that's gonna be something good. Maybe we can do this one. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It's not. We could do it. Let's try to do that. I don't see why. At least for now. To make sure that people have access to this area through this other road. It shouldn't affect it. It should be fine. I think it's gonna maybe actually allow more people to go through it. We're still gonna build a park here. That's not gonna be the issue. So I wanted to do this and just have it on one side. We can always continue this way and have access to here, and maybe that can help traffic a little bit or make it worse. I don't know, but it would be by connecting this and this road. So what I'm gonna do is I am not gonna zone anything here because we do need the service points, and I already laid down the water pipes, so we're fine. There should be enough electricity, so let me zone it and run the game. And I think this developed rather nice. This is looking really nice. Let's see how well people are responding to this road. They are. And honestly, I'm glad that in City Skylines 2 these roads are not gonna need these service points, which is a hassle. It also creates issues when you don't have these roads in a pedestrian area because it doesn't allow you to plop anything next to them, even though they're not even though this area might not be serviced by this road, it still doesn't let it stay there. I don't know why. That's why in here, and I'm going to show you, that's why in here I left this space open so we can put a pedestrian road here and it's easier for any emergency vehicles to get here. And I also left one here. I think we are fine in this area, but if there's need for it, we can always change it. As you can see, traffic goes up and goes down depending on how things are working here. And we need a little bit more with a little bit more of commercial. So let me change this into commercial. Let me make sure again, it's sometimes these areas are a little bit finicky, so I'm just gonna increase this a little bit. There you go. And I do love the way this roof plaza looks. And let me just take off these squares here. I think the only thing I'm gonna plop down is this and this. So I think the only thing that's missing from this is to have a connection into the other area. So I'm gonna start the line here, put a stop here, another one here, sure, one here, another one here, and the last one I'm gonna place in here, and that should be it. Let me pause the game really quick so we can make these biofuel buses. There's gonna be 8, and I think 8 should be fine for now, and we're gonna make this a purplish color. I think we haven't used purple yet. No. So I think this is gonna help our area. Although, you know what, let me just change that route, and I am gonna extend it to here, and here, and have a little, we can have a little route here. Let's see, we can have the little mini buses. Let's do a lighter purple, and we're gonna let this run. We might be able to change the roads here to allow buses to get there, and this might not be such a bad idea with this road. Maybe we can have some buses going through there, but I think it's gonna be fine for now. And now we're having issues with this area having not enough educated workers, and that might be our next challenge, which is to deal with having our first university. We have enough money, more than enough money, and I think this, and let me zone it right now or draw the district. I'm gonna make this our university district, and I know that we have the other smaller university here. We have the MTI, but it doesn't matter. I think we should be able to have both. There's enough money for both to exist. We have enough money to pay for almost everything else. And so this is gonna be our campus area. There's some issues here. Oh wow, there's no access. We should have done this a long time ago. Let me place this one. I am gonna have to move some of these, but for now, that should be able to help. And it's unfortunate that this happened right before we were gonna finish our episode for today. And I do need to plop down this disaster response unit, and I think this is a perfect place to place it. There you go. And well, in our next episode we'll be able to fix this mess that I made. And also I think we should be able to already add more buildings. So there's a surplus of flour, so really quick, let me just add a warehouse so that they can take the flour too. And well, this I think is the first time where we don't worry about traffic in our city. Traffic with our fix is going really well. As you can see, there's traffic, but it's normal traffic. I mean, there's gonna be traffic everywhere no matter what. And also we were able to grow 2 more areas. We were able to grow this regular office and commercial area, as well as this our first pedestrian area that's looking really nice. And I think we accomplished to do that really well. Again, it looks really nice. It looks really well, and I'm glad that we were able to do that. So we are gonna finish our episode right here. I do want to thank you for watching this video, for liking, subscribing, and leaving your comments in the comment section. And we'll see each other in our next episode. Thank you.